Hi, I'm Megan King-Brink in Atlanta. I am an agent, a real estate agent. And before I get into the Merali Media product review, I want to tell you real quick a little bit about me so that you can understand who the product review is coming from. I'm not a brand new agent. I'm, not new to the sales process. I've been in sales for a long time, even prior to real estate. My real estate career so far has been 8 years, full-time all 8 years. And I have worked at 4 different brokerages, buyer and seller or listing agent. And right now I close around like 16 to 18, 20 on a good year units annually, and about 8 to 10 million in volume annually. Consistently placed in the top 10 to 15%, 5 to 10% of Atlanta for volume and units. And I have sold a total of about 145 in my career so far. Okay, so now you know this is coming from someone who has done the FSBOs, expired, door knocking, farming. I know how to open houses. I know how to talk to people. I know how to close leads. I want you to know this is not about, and this is what, the reason I say this is because Merali Media will say, well, that person didn't know how to close leads. That person didn't know how to close leads. I know how to close leads. I want you to know, in case this comes up for you in your talks with them, it's not about the skill set and closing leads. It's about the quality of leads and the quantity of leads. So both, I experienced problems in both quantity and quality of leads. So, okay, getting into why I started paying for this service when I've never paid for a lead in my life. 2023, we all know it was bumpy. It was the first time in my business where I made a major investment in one particular field that didn't work out, and I found myself really trying to like pull up quick and get leads fast as going into winter, that's tough. So I saw the ads that Merali Media was serving up on Facebook, and you've seen them too. They're like 8 closings in 4 months guaranteed. If you see the fine print, 40 appointments in 4 months guaranteed, or 8 closings in 4 months guaranteed, or we work for free. 40 appointments in 4 months guaranteed, or we work for free. Those all sound great, and it sounded great when I called them and went through the presentation with their salesperson too. And they flipped through a whole bunch of stuff pretty quickly, and I needed to get going fast, and so I had not signed the contract with them yet, but we were at the point where I had given them my credit card. They said they would send me by email the contract to review. They did charge my card $6,180, $6,000 for the ISA and Facebook, and then I think the $180 was like a setup fee or something. Then I lit them up about having charged my card for that amount before I had signed the contract, and they leaned on some sort of text authorization that happened during the phone call and said that was my verbal authorization. So I'm at this point panicked. This group I don't know at all has over $6,000 of my money. I feel like I'm about to engage in a legal fight to try to get it back, which is going to cost me more. I make the decision, I may as well just see where this goes, and at least if I can just close 1 off of this thing, it will have paid for itself. If I close 2, I'm ahead. I was not expecting to close 8 because I know how guarantees work. They're never really guarantees. So I signed the contract under duress, so I don't even know if that means that it's legal or not. But they went ahead and set up the ads. I will say, and this is not me trying to be picky or, snotty or anything, I wasn't impressed with the ads. They said they'd been beta tested and that they had, run their marketing campaigns. They knew what gathered results. And to their credit, I did have multiple emails of leads coming in through the day. I'd say I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 6 coming in per day. Now, what you're paying for when you pay for the ISA, you're paying for the ISA to contact those leads for you and book an appointment. So ISA, Inside Sales Agent, they say that they call the lead within a couple minutes, or that's what I was told on a phone call. I had asked for the script. I was given the script later of what the ISA is asking them. But I will tell you, there is no transparency. So there was no way, there's no portal ability for me to go in there and check and see what the ISA is actually doing. Who's calling who, how soon after the lead comes in, how many times were they calling them, and then what were the conversations like. You don't get any of that information. The only information you get is when an appointment is booked for you. And I had asked, should I call or contact these leads that are coming in? Because I was concerned that I wasn't seeing a lot of appointments. And they said, you know, really, we encourage you not to. That's what the ISA is for. If you do contact the leads, it can get confusing. They've talked to one person, they've talked to another, they're getting multiple calls from, you know, different people. They get annoyed, and then you lose the lead. So they, you know, suggested I stay out of that part of the process. Okay, fine, that's what I'm paying for anyways. So I let the system play out, and in 1 month, I had only had 4 appointments. So if they're going to book 40 appointments in 4 months, they need to be averaging 10 appointments a month. So in month 1, I had 4 appointments. I put them on warning at that point. I'll tell you why in a second. And in the next 18 days, they did not book one single appointment. So that's almost 2 months of the campaign and only 4 appointments. So why on earth would I think that the next 2 months of the campaign are going to be anything different than the last 4 months or last 2 months of the campaign? Why would the next 2 months of the campaign look any different than the first 2 months of the campaign? So at that rate, I was only going to end up with 8 total appointments if I'm using the first half to project the second half. Let me tell you about these appointments. The first appointment, she was blunt as soon as she picked up the phone and said, look, I told the guy that called, I am coming out of a medical situation. I do not have a job and I do not have any money, and I am in no position to buy right now. I clicked on it because I am interested eventually in buying, but I'm going to have to work to get there. And I consulted her and, you know, like gave her some information and put her in my database, but that's not a pre-qualified lead. She's nowhere close to buying. She's 2 years minimum out from buying. Okay, second appointment. The woman legitimately did have an agent, not like the whole excuse, yeah, I have an agent, like legitimately had an agent. Wasn't anticipating my phone call, so wasn't really aware that there was an appointment, and could not wait to get off the phone with me. That's not a pre-qualified appointment. I have done the ISA thing in the past before, and I know what a pre-qualified appointment looks like. They're expecting you. The lead has been worked. You still have to close it. That's your responsibility, but the lead has been worked. It's set up for you. Sorry about the lighting. I've attempted this video a couple of times and it's getting dark. The third lead was a complete no-show. She never answered the phone, never responded to an email, never responded to a text. I reached out approximately 10 to 12 times over the course of 7 days and didn't want to harass the poor lady anymore. So she was completely a no-show. And then the fourth appointment was a buyer who was at least 2 hours away from me. So that's not a lead I can service. And it was not in one of the cities that I had included in my original, consultation form, orientation form, whatever that I put in. And I put in a wide range of areas. So 4 completely non-viable leads for me. Non-viable, not pre-qualified, just, you can't call them leads. They were just people, which I can go talk to 8 people, in a coffee shop without paying $6,180. So that's how much I got out of it. Granted, I do have the leads that came in with names, phone numbers, and emails that the ISA was not able to reach or work or get in contact with, which makes me feel real great about those leads. But I do at least have that of people to add to my database. If you can't tell, I'm extremely frustrated. This is your clue. Let's see. The guarantees. The guarantees are very loosely defined in the contract, and you better believe that's on purpose. So 8 closings in 4 months. A closing in the contract is defined as a commitment to work with you. So, I mean, what is that? Like, it doesn't even say a buyer brokerage agreement, a listing agreement, signed paperwork, commitment to do business with you in the next 4 to 6 months. They say 8 closings in 4 months. That's not closings the way you and I are thinking about closings. That's commitments to work with you, which that could look like anything. Like, I can find somebody committed to working with me, again, in the coffee shop. Or we work for free guarantee. So that one is loosely defined too, and it specifically stipulates that the only way they will keep working for you is if you keep spending $75 a week on the ads. Well, why would anybody spend that kind of money on ads that are not working? Oh my God. And then the 40 appointments guarantee. They wanted me to keep spending money, $75 a week, till the end of the campaign. I already knew that they were not going to give me any money back, and that they were going to use their guarantee excuse as a way to get out of, holding them accountable for anything. So there was no need for me to finish out the campaign. I did attempt getting a refund. I should have asked for a full refund. I asked for a partial refund in half. They would not work with me at all, gave me the runaround, and then finally gave me a very snippy email quoting parts of the contract and saying specifically that if I tried to pursue the matter further, that I would be responsible for their legal fees, and if I didn't pay them, it would go to collections. So now you know the kind of firm that, and the kind of contract that you would be signing if you decided to move forward with this. The guarantees are not guarantees. They're guarantees, and as much as I've told you that they're guarantees, you have to keep spending $75 a week forever until you hit that number. So that's my experience, and I would give this 0 out of 5 stars.